So what's the Get Down?
Hip hop culture lifestyle show.
What's up, y'all? DJ Eque. What's the Get Down? Originally, I'm from Houston. I grew up in Fifth Ward. I grew up in projects. I was a tomboy. And so I wasn't really soft. And growing up in the hood like that, and then me being how I am, because I'm the lighter of my brothers and sisters. So I got picked on a lot. So I used to fight a lot. And I used to fight, not only fight for myself, I used to fight for my brother and sister. When you young and stuff, and they calling you yellow girl and red girl and all this stuff, and want to fight you because of that, because maybe they boyfriend like you and it ain't got nothing to do with you. Like when you immature and young like that, I just remember that when I was 9 years old, and because when you're young, you don't know you poor. You don't know. You getting candy, you get all this stuff, you rich. And you get 1 or 2 toys for Christmas, whatever. When I was 9 years old, after all the fighting, and not only is I'm fighting strangers, or not even strangers, just teenagers around in my hood or whatever, for whatever reason. Me and my sister used to fight a lot. So I remember when I was 9, I was just tired one day, and I was like, I'm tired, like, and the energy in the hood is just hostile. Everything's hostile. So I didn't know what that was when I was young, but I just know, I remember crying about it when I realized that I was poor, and I used to cry and be like, God, why was I born into poverty? I hated it. So I navigated my way to get out of it. I was that child that was at those centers or those buildings with their mom and their snotty-nosed kids in line waiting to get welfare checks. I remember all that, the energy, I hated it. And I said, no matter what, I'll never be on welfare. But I said, if I gotta work 10 jobs and not be on welfare, I'm doing that. So I wasn't really into music like that. I was more into sports, because that was my getaway. That was my outlet. So anything I could play to not be home, that's what I did. So my favorite was basketball and volleyball. Because my thing, I still wanted to play ball, but I knew my family was too poor to pay for it. Right. So I ended up getting a scholarship for a ride to Texas Southern University. And I played volleyball and basketball, and they paid for everything. I didn't have to come up. I stayed in the athletic dorm, and then I paid for everything. So one day we was in college, and you know how they do college dances or whatever, and it was this one DJ named DJ Peace, and he used to be doing all the parties. And then one day he just caught my eye, and I looked at him and said, that's what I want to do. I want to DJ. And at that time, there were no girls doing that, not in Houston. So I was like, only girls that I knew about doing it back then was Jazzy Joyce and Spinderella. Yeah, Spinderella. So I went up to the DJ and I said, I want to learn how to DJ. And I'm sure he probably had other girls say that. And he was looking at, because we talked about this. He said, I thought you was kind of cute. So I was like, yeah, I'll teach you, Even though me back then, I didn't care about boys like that. My focus was on me and playing basketball. That's all I cared about. So, because I had a goal in my life. So he told me to start coming over there and practice when he practiced with me. So I would go over there and practice with him. So it was all good until he tried to come on me, and I was like, nah, I just want to learn how to DJ. And then after that, he got busy. So I come to the realization that if I'm serious about it, I need to get my own equipment. Turntables back then was what, like, for me, like $1,200 or $1,300. Yeah, whatever. So let's just say this guy brought me, I'm not gonna say his name because y'all gonna know who he is. I didn't use him, he just liked me and wanted to see me do well. He is my friend. I would say more of that, but I knew he kind of had a crush on me too as well. So I had just my mixer and then a turntable, and that was it for just one turntable for a long time. And all I used to do is cut and scratch. And I don't know, have you ever seen this picture? I took a picture, back then I had my daughter. I got pregnant my freshman year in college. So I had my daughter, she was 3 years old, and I took a picture, I put it up. I haven't put it up in a long time. I should put it up for go back. She's like 20 something years old now, but she was 3 years old. I took a picture of her, put a little hand on my turntable like this, and the other hand on my mixer. Well, and she's 3 years old standing there.
Dope.
It's dope, right?
Like an album cover. Yeah, word up.
And they got all my vinyl there around her, and she all little going like this, trying to do it. Cause she's seen her mom do that or whatever. But yeah, that's how I started back then. I was just practicing with that. But then and then I would go to concerts. And so when I went to concerts, one day I went to go see Candyman. That he from the West Coast, right?
Yeah.
That's when my journey really started. So I went to go see him, and me and my friends became friends with the two dancers. And I don't know, you know, the two dancers, one of them name was Tootie, and the other one name was Munir. And so I became friends with them after they left, and we kept communicating. And then they was like, well, if you're serious about your DJing, you need to get out of Houston and maybe come to LA, go to LA, New York. So I thought about it. And then so I ended up dropping out of school, quitting my part-time job. Because the way I thought about coming to California was, because I was the only one in my immediate family that ever left. The only place they ever go is to Louisiana. They had never been on a plane, none of that. At that time, I didn't either. Because my family all looked up to me. They was like, you did it. And I used to always say, to this day, I still kind of say it. I'd be like, yo, I ain't do nothing. I got my legacy, I gotta keep going, like for real. I'm not satisfied where I'm at right now. I've let too many distractions get me off my course. Back then, everybody used to go to the north side to this roller skating ring called Rainbow. And so we had our own rappers. Everybody was listening to all the East Coast rappers. Yeah. And this was for NWA and all that, Too Short, all that. So we had, even though we started bumping Too Short, but we were fans of like Raw Flush, UGK, back then, artists like that. And so we would go to Rainbow where they perform or where they play their music, we all go skating. But back then, the surge didn't happen until, Big Pimpin'. And that's when like I felt like the world knew, because they represented Texas so hard, I felt like the world knew. And then from that moment, we got Paul Wall, Chameleonaire, and it was somebody else. I'm trying to think.
Or was it Mike Jones?
Yeah, Mike Jones, yes.
So that was an actual run.
But, I gotta say this, but before that, I forgot about this. The issue with this issue, even though it's so crazy though, it's crazy. Suave House. My boy started Suave House, who I went to high school with, Tony Draper. Draper was my dog.
Hey, yo.
In high school, he used to come to my games. That's my dog. That was my friend in high school. So he went and got 8Ball to MJG. But they from Tennessee.
Right.
But he from Houston.
Oh.
So back then, we loved it, but they ain't Houston. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He is, but they not.
Yeah.
We support everything they did,
right.
Like they our own, but they wasn't our own like UGK, Paul Wall, and Chameleon,
right.
Mike Jones.
But see, the thing about it though is it's interesting because we were big Suave House fans. That's why we were able to tap in, you know, Taylor, Mr. Mike, all of that. Mm-hmm. But the weird thing is nobody ever made the Houston connection between Tony Draper and like Jay Prince or whatever. Everybody we all thought he was from Memphis. Mm-hmm. So that was the thing. So you guys really, even though he was from Houston, I understand what you're saying, y'all really, you know, lock into like 8Ball and JG and all that? Or,
no, we did because of Tony.
Oh, I got
Suave House, yeah, but it wasn't the same as the artists that come from there.
Right.
8Ball G was from Memphis. They represent Memphis hard.
Like majority of their roster, Tila, all of them was from Memphis.
So, but that's what I'm saying. Like, Swap, we was going, you know, because it's Tony. Yeah, we, you know, loved him, you know, whatever. And then like, you know, you got Jay Prince with the that movement, with the whole Rap-A-Lot movement. That was a great time in hip hop for us too. And I went to high school with Scarface.
That's right.
Yeah, we went to the same high school.
Was he anything? Yeah.
Actually, one of my best friends in high school got a baby from him.
That's
Felicia.
True.
Yeah.
He should be. When you think about MCs, he's one of the few that created their own style. Mm-hmm. Most cats can't say that. They can be like, oh yeah, he's doper than this person, but they all sound the same.
Yeah.
He created his own style. So yeah, I'm a big Scarface.
Yeah. And back then, you know, Brad, I call him Brad. He was, you know, going in high school. He was very depressed all the time. Yeah. Yeah.
You was good people though?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You still tapped into these days as well?
Yeah, I talked to him when I didn't know he had COVID-19.
Yeah.
One day he was on my live and he told me, hey, Q, call me. I'm in the hospital. I said, yo, you all right, brother? Because Talib had just told me that he asked about me when he talked to him when he was in the hospital. And he said, you know, Face got COVID-19. I said, what? Corona? He in the hospital. I said, oh my God, I gotta reach out to him. And then, but the number I had, he said, yeah, he asked about you. I was like, okay, I gotta reach out to him. So, but then he hit me on my live and he said, I'm good though, call me. And that's when he told me, and I was like, he told me he was still in the hospital.
Yeah.
And I asked him what happened, and he said he got over the COVID-19, but it fucked his kidneys up.
So he's consistently getting dialysis now. He goes live and all of that. So that's shout out to Face and blessings.
He feels blessed to still be here. Right. The way he talks is really light. Yeah, I'm still praying for him though.
It's rough out here. A lot of people here, a lot of people gone. So I feel you.
I think his movement, when it comes to, I never asked him. I wish I would have asked him what made him start scoring these records. The only thing I can think of when it comes to that is back then how all of those guys used to drink syrup. So because back then, like us, we wanted to hear we wanted to hear regular speed. And only back then we looked at the guys that did that was on syrup. So we was like, whatever. But then when he started doing his mixtapes though, and them shit used to be hot. Yeah. When he used to be flipping the songs and then like doubling on them, it used to be hot. And so back then you gotta have 24s in your car. So they were bumping, you know, bass and stuff. It's a lot of bass. So they would bump that a lot. And then it just started catching on.
Was it big in your arsenal?
What do you mean big, like what?
Like in your crates. Did you keep it in, you know, like a lot of screw records in your crates?
No, because I wasn't a screw DJ. I didn't play screw DJ. That was like something you either did or you didn't, as DJs in Houston. Yeah.
So now let's tap into some of your roses. All right, as far as like some of the things that you've done that I don't think people really even can comprehend. So, what was your first professional gig?
My first tour was with the Poetess, but that's a little smaller or whatever. But we used to go to all the conferences and things like that. And then from there, I would meet different artists and things like that. And so when that project ended, immediately I got another project where I met this guy and I told him I was a DJ, or he came to one of our shows, I'm not sure. And he's from New York or whatever, and he was like, my friend Tamrock is looking for a DJ. She about to go on tour. She's signed to the East Coast Family with Michael Bivins, and da-da-da-da-da-da. I said, oh, okay, I'm down, I want to check it out. So then I go to meet with her and Michael Bivins, and Mike loved me. And Tam was cool with me too. She wasn't tripping back then. And so Mike came up with the idea, because at first she was gonna be solo. And then Mike was like, nah, y'all gonna be like, oh, I forgot about this part. People don't know about this little drop right there. At that time, Bill was talking to Lisa Ray, because she was managing, supposedly managing the Brat, Shantae. So anyway, so back then she was named the Rat. So Biv was talking about putting her in a group with me and putting me and Tam and her all in a group like a salt and pepper, like a new salt and pepper. So it was gonna be Brad, Tam, and me at that time. So, but then that deal didn't work out, and then she signed with Jermaine. So that's when Biv was like, okay, we'll do this, but y'all gonna be like Eric B and Rakim, because Biv always like, check this out, I got these ideas, you know. He always come up with ideas back then, so whatever. He still come up with ideas, trust me. But so he said, y'all gonna be like Eric B and Rakim. So, and that was the whole thing, but the female version of it, Town Rock and Eque. So then I said, okay, and then Biv came to me one day, asked me, this is when I got my first turntables, like that wasn't used. And Biv went and got me another Newmark mixer and 2 turntables. And at that time, I wanted to do beats. So I asked for an MPC. So he gave me that too.
You just asked for it, like bam, MPC, bam.
Why did you want to do beats? What brought that on?
DJing. It just felt natural, because when you listen, when you're DJing and mixing records, and when you're doing that, you basically remixing those records. That's what it is. That's what a remix is, right? So it's like, it just started giving me ideas. And as you listening to the music, you start thinking about, what if it did this or what if it did that? So that goes you to start thinking about recreating it in your way. So that's why. And then I started following different producers and things like that. So that was my first professional gig with Biv. My first flight I ever been on was flying to New York with doing videos with the East Coast Family and Michael Variance. I signed a deal with Motown on Biv 10, that was the label. We flew to New York to start producing our album. And the ghostwriter we had was Big Daddy Kane. Can I just tell y'all, these are the people I had on my wall. And I used to be like a little girl in the projects in 5th Ward, having New Edition, all these people on my wall. And now I'm there, and I was just be like, wow. How did I end up DJing for him?
Yes, ma'am.
Remember, I'm a hustler, right?
Yes.
So one of my other jobs was doing videos. I was a video vixen, video girl, but I wasn't like the ones that was really doing it with the bodies and all that, because I'm still a tomboy, but I was a cute little tomboy. So I could be in the background blending with the rest of them. So I could at least do that. But you get paid for that, so whatever. I didn't care. So one day, I got a call from my boy Fred Johnson, who has an agency that books girls for videos, things like that. And so to go do a Luke video, and I was like, I fucking love Luke, coming from Texas. You know, we love Luke. So then I went and did the video. And while I'm on set, I'm always hustling, so I went to him. I said, you know I'm a DJ, right? You need a DJ? Because that was the first single for when he wasn't a part of 2 Live Crew. He's Uncle Luke now. He hasn't done any shows that I knew of, and I knew he was gonna be going on tour soon. So I was gonna put my hat in with my thing in the hat in the bag, whatever you call it. My name in the bag, hat, whatever. So anyway, we talked and we got along. He said, oh, she cool, whatever. He said, give me your number. I gave him my number, whatever. And then like 6 months went by, I didn't hear anything. And then one day out the blue, he called me. He called me, and then his assistant, or maybe Nikki called me, or maybe he called me, I don't know, his sister Nikki. And then it was like that Friday, and she was like, hey, Luke needs you. And I was like, okay, we're gonna do a show at the Super Bowl in Phoenix, so you need to come to Phoenix and do a show with Luke. And I'm like, of course I'm gonna say yeah. So I said, okay. So I get there, fly to Phoenix, do the Super Bowl show with Luke. And then, I go to him, go talk to him, go over the playlist or whatever. And he said, let me tell you something. Working with me is real simple. You just gotta pay attention. He told me all the signs for different things. Just watch me. Don't ever take your eyes off of me on the stage. You gotta pay attention, just watch me. And so I can do that. And then that'll tell you when to drop songs. That's how I'm gonna do it. I said, okay. So then we go on stage. It is so packed in there. It was ridiculous. A couple thousand, I don't even know. So I'm on stage by myself, and I'm getting ready to start the show. Luke comes out. Then the girls come out. Oh, I forgot about this part. Right before we walk on the stage, before I go set up, he said, yo, I'm gonna be fuck this shit. Let me show you I'm gonna end this shit real quick. And I'll be like, okay, I don't know what's going on. When I first show him. So I get on stage and I start the show. The girls come out, he come out, and they're starting, everybody going crazy, pushing and shoving, you know how that is. And so the girls come out, and immediately I'm watching him. So I'm watching him. What is going on? Because they are completely asshole naked. I never seen that in front of all these people. And I was like, what's going on? And he was like, Eque. I was like, okay. I was in shock. I was like, what is going on? And that caused y'all men something else, because they lost their mind in that place. And they started fighting each other, going crazy, show in. Over. And I was like, that's what he meant. What the hell? So then everybody got calmed down, the party's still going, and I guess, I don't know what happened. It could have been he didn't get his money, I don't even know. But then we ended up going to the DJ booth, and he got on the mic, and then I went over there and started DJing in the DJ booth with him on the mic and one girl. Next thing I know, we doing like the show, you know how it is, like that, like a show like that. Not really a show, but just, you know, he going through songs and I'm DJing for him or whatever. And then they got this girl over there, she's sitting on the table playing with herself. And you got Heisey Tropmans and actors eating her out and shit like that. I got it on video. I used to videotape everything.
Oh, you got the tapes.
Cool. I know, I talked to Luke about that a couple weeks ago, because he was saying he's taking everything from his tours. I said, you know, I got video too, right? And then I showed it to him. He was like, I didn't know you, wait a minute, you was taking videos of all the in-stores that wasn't regular. I used to be like, what is going on? So yeah, I got it. I got a couple of them.
When you were talking to him, I don't know if it was on his or if it was on...
It was on mine.
Yeah, so you got fired.
Oh, the fire department?
Yeah.
Yes, he didn't even remember. I said, oh, that was the first time I ever got fired, nigga. I was so old. So, we was in Louisiana on the road, and I doing the show in Louisiana with him. And then it was like a barn-like club, I don't know, I don't even know what city it was. And I had to have been like 4 or 5 in the morning. I know the sun was about to come up. And we're still waiting, because they ain't paid Luke the rest of his money. And we ain't going on stage with all the money. So finally he got the money. And it was so hot and humid in there, it looked like fog in the air. And it was super packed, people are drenching, it's humid, it's Louisiana. So then, back then I used to do the shows on the two separate ones. The Denon, the CDJs, you know what I'm talking about? The Denon ones? Yeah. CDJs. So all the shows were on CDs. So I would put them in the thing, right. So for that particular day, I'm starting the show, and then the number 0. And I was like, I was taking it out, wipe it up, 0. I was like, what is going on? It's out of my hands, I don't know what to do. But you didn't have Serato back then, you know what I mean? So I was like, oh my God, what is going on with this equipment? So he goes, bitch, what you doing? And he has never talked to me like that. I said, on the mic, everybody hear him say that. On the mic, he's saying this. And I was like, oh, hell no, nigga, who the fuck you think you talking to? You don't talk to me like that. And so he was like, just get the shit right. And then I said, here you go. And then it played. I was like, thank God. So he comes out, we do 2-3 songs. And then it's a transition where it's a pause where he's talking, and I'm waiting for him to give me the cue to drop the other song. And then in the middle of that, he's gonna say, well, I know somebody ain't gonna be doing no more Luke shows. And then he's looking at me. I was like, bitch, who you think you're talking to? You ain't gotta worry about me ever doing no shows for you. We on the mic arguing back and forth in the middle of a show. I said, I don't give a fuck who you are. You're not gonna be disrespecting me. You know, I got my fucking money. So then, yeah, and that was my last show I ever did with him.
Grand opening, grand closing. So, what, and out of all of the things that you've seen on stage, do you have like one of those moments where it's like, this is definitely like the craziest thing I've ever seen on a Lou show?
Yeah, Philly. I'm trying to name the club. I just know this. Two things happened there. Man, one thing. That was something else. So many, but I would think the craziest thing, I think if you was on live, I don't know if you saw it. You saw it? Ah! The craziest thing was, we was in Philly, and it's a club I think that's still there. And I just know that they had these columns. I think that's what it was, where they were at. So the show is dark, we got the spotlights, And so we're in the middle of the show. We're in the middle of the show of doing the songs. And Luke goes, oh shit, hold on EQ, hold on. Wait a minute, y'all come over here. Put the light over there. It was a couple where, how was their position? I'm trying to think how was that going on. I think the girl was like bent over, had her hands on the wall, and the dude was behind her having sex with her on the side of the stage.
While you guys were performing?
Oh yeah. And he put the spotlight and they did not stop. So that probably was the craziest one.
Did you enjoy touring with Lou?
Immensely. The music, every time I performed, I was so hyped. That was my first tour. The first big tour I ever went on was with Luke, opening up for Biggie. So every night we would do a show opening up for Biggie, and back then Luke was way bigger than Biggie. So we'd do the show and we walk off the stage, and then Biggie's trying to set up, about to come on stage. Yo, even while he was on his first song, we want Luke. Back then, that's what they used to say. And the whole crowd would be saying it while he performing. This is when Juicy first came out.
When you left him, let's see, I was looking at the live, right? You went to Faith, right?
Absolutely.
There we go. So what was that?
No. EPMD, right? Yes. Eric Sermon. Deb Squad. When Eric put out music,
Yes, ma'am.
I was his DJ. Yeah. And guess what I met Eric at? 227.
Yeah.
I met so many people come through that building. Otsego, what was it, 11047 Otsego in North Hollywood. I tell you, everybody was in that building. I met so many people come through that building. Quick used to come be in there, because High C lived in the building next door, or downstairs, I forget. So many people lived in that building that was in the music industry.
Tapped over in.
CL Smooth Corey, because he was fucking some girl that lived in the building. Me and Corey, that's how Corey and I know P-Rod. Like Corey was like my brother, so I was cool with the girl. Heavy's like my brother. Heavy became like, even after I met Heavy through that girl too. That girl was, a lot of guys coming through there. Anyway, I'm gonna tell my story. So anyway, so Heavy, and then me and her and Heavy were like really close friends. They wasn't together, but they was friends because she was with Corey. But so I used to hang out with Heavy all the time, and his Mount Vernon crew. Yeah.
Yeah. So what was that like, just being in the 227, just like on a regular basis? What was it like every day?
You'll never know what you're gonna see in that building. I've seen so many people go to that building. And a lot of dancers that dance for major artists be in that building.
So, all right, so then I guess kind of jumping on topic of notable artists that you DJ for. Obviously, Luke, obviously, Eric Sermon.
And then after Eric Sermon was Faith Evans. Then after Faith Evans was Queen Latifah. And then on the Sugar Water tour was probably, to me, one of my favorite tours I ever done in my life, was doing the Sugar Water tour with Latifah, Erykah Badu, Jill Scott, and Floetry. And we did it like 3 years in a row.
And I think they recently discussed that.
They did on the live.
On the live.
Yeah. I was like, yes, I wish.
Pull it together. Can EQ make it happen for the future?
I don't know. I mean, the one thing about La is that she loves doing shows, she loves hip hop, she loves performing. And her, like Kim at first used to argue about it, her manager, because he like, that's what these movies, because you know, but her heart is that. Her heart is hip hop and music.
It's different though.
She don't care about, she already got enough bread for everybody, so yeah. She's doing, when you that, like that, you good on that, you can pursue, do whatever you want. I got a lot of, yo, I just did a song with Too Short. So it's like, I've been continuously, the one thing about everything, I think the reason why I haven't put anything out is fear. I'm real, I don't know if it's a good thing. I guess it kind of is. Because a lot of these producers are so cocky. I got the shit, I'm hot. I don't have that. Like, I'm just very like, you think it's dope? You think you like it? You like it? But now I'm at the point, it doesn't matter who like it, I like it. Because the thing is, I want to do it my way. I want to do it my way and how I see it, my vision, and how I feel about how I'm doing these records. And I want to have my feet and produce all of my records. I just want to do all of them. Whether y'all love them or not, I love them. So that's that's the place I'm in now. So I'm definitely, I would say in the next couple of, next month, I'm getting that remix, the Raekwon, I'm getting it mixed, and I'm putting it out first. And then I'm gonna put this together with, I'm putting it out together with the Bun B single. I'm gonna do both.
I know you were talking about, on that same live, you were talking to a couple of your homegirls talking about uniting, and I don't know, y'all was gonna do like a Sisterhood Justice League type situation where everybody works with each other. Is that something that you're still working on?
I definitely am. There's a couple things I'm working on to bring women in, and we do it together, because as you say, it's male dominated, and I've even like, I'm the type, I'm not scared to ask anybody for help. I want, it doesn't hurt my ego, it don't bother me, whatever. So if I need help, I'm gonna ask you. Even though everybody probably think I got it together. If I need help with this, I'm gonna ask you. Especially if I know you or you're my friend. So I don't care about asking males for help on certain things to accomplish what I need to accomplish. But I'd rather do it with women. So I have reached out to do a couple projects and things that you'll hear about soon.
Everything is everything in the EQ vault, you know what I mean? Like, is it gonna all just come out all like blam 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 like dominoes?
I believe so. Yeah, absolutely.
You know something? Is there one thing that I do want to get from you though? What's some game that you give some of the female producers coming in? If you were mentoring somebody right now, what would you tell them?
Producers or DJ?
Yeah, I was like, I don't think I'm qualified. I know I follow so many dope female producers that I would rather, I don't feel comfortable answering that yet. I've improved myself to that. I've proven myself as a DJ, but not as a producer. So I would say, period, coming in this game as a woman, period, whether you produce or DJ, I mean, believe in yourself and hold tight to what you want to give to the world. Because I've had engineers, I've had other producers tell me when I play stuff for them or whatever, or my ideas, don't do it that way. And I allowed that for years to influence me, my vision. And I got to the point, I would say last year, I was like, nah, I'm doing it my fucking way. Sink or swim, I'm doing it my way. First, anyway, I might try it another way, but for the first way, gonna be my way. And I would say hold tight to that and believe in yourself at all times.
Before we get out of here, is there anything that you want to say? Anything that has to do with you, what do you want to get out? What do you want people to know about you, or what is it that you...
You know what? You know what all of them say? This is the one thing I want to say. All of them say, EQ, you good. You good, you don't need nothing. You don't need no help with nothing. How How do you know? That shouldn't even matter. And if anything, I should get offered the first, whether if you know I need it or not, I would think. But they all think I don't need nothing, or I don't need no help with anything, this, and that, and they offering it to other. I'll be paying attention to everything. And that shit right there, to be honest with you, like I don't want to cry right now, but that's like the one thing that fucking hurts my fucking soul, because I'm like, I don't let people in. And if I call, and I've been watching it for a couple years now. And I went off on a friend that called himself my brother, and I actually apologized. I got emotional about it because I was like, and I went off for everybody at the club. I did open up. I was there and I was quiet. I ain't never quiet. I opened up for him and he was like, all on him like, my sis EQ. They love fucking saying my sis EQ. And then when the party ended, I said, you know what? Fuck, stop. I said, stop fucking saying that. He said, what do you mean? What do you mean EQ? I said, no, I ain't your fucking sis, nigga. No, I'm not. I've been watching. You ain't, when the last time you called and checked up on me? Like, that's the one thing I want to say. I don't mean to get all emotional about it, man.
Nah, you good. That's great. People don't understand that no matter what your status or who you are, you're a person. So if you fuck with it, you fuck with it. If you don't, you don't. So we get you wholeheartedly right here.
So I've cut off a lot of people. I don't fuck with a lot of people no more. If they don't know, I don't fuck with them. But whatever.
Scorpio shit.
This is straight Scorpio shit. Oh my God. I hate getting emotional. I'm on this journey too. The reason why I think too, I'm in therapy right now. And I called my therapist the other day and said, I hate this feeling shit. You got me all emotional and shit. I'm all on Twitter crying for other people's problems.
There's nothing wrong with shit like that. Look, we know you thugging and everything. You know,
but it's cool. I'm on my journey, and that's why through a lot, even like back in the day, if people were really hitting me on my social media, cussing me, trying to judge me or stuff, I've been to cuss everybody out or trying to find out where motherfucker live. Like crazy shit. So, but now, because I never used to think about having compassion for other people, or this is a mentality you grow up in the hood. So it's like, and so I started, and it's crazy because I would do this to my friends now. When they come to me hostile about somebody, I'm talking like, can you believe she did that? I said, well, maybe she going through something. You don't know. People have a lot of issues, or a lot of people carry childhood trauma, and that's where a lot of this stuff come from. Here I go, therapist. My therapist is so proud of me right now. So now I think about that. A lot when people that, especially people that don't know you and attack you, you don't even know me. Why is I'm getting this? Oh, that ain't from me. Really, it ain't from me. That's for somebody else. So now I know that, I could just move on. It don't affect me. They can say, and they'll keep saying whatever, and I'll just keep saying, God bless you. I wish you the best.
I just got one thing that I want to know, just from your perspective. Do you think, because I got the same mentality too as far as paying attention to everybody, so do you think growing up in the hood basically was a good thing?
Absolutely. I think everything I've been through in my life is a good thing. My mom, for a long time, I was angry with my mom because I remember I was like, I hated it. How my mom was an alcoholic, growing up in the hood, eating government cheese, day-old bread, food stamps with the booklets. Y'all got it good now with the little card and shit, debit card. I had so embarrassed, had to go with the booklet to the grocery store. I hated it all. Up until I was 15, my mother made all our clothes. If I say I want a polo, oh, I can make that. We gotta go to the Joann's or wherever the place it was back then to pick out the pattern, and she would make it. So I don't know if, you know, when you're young, like a lot of people say, that's dope. Yeah, you can say that now, but when you 12 and you know, you young, you don't think that shit dope. You know, you poor.
Well, we like it.
So I appreciate everything I've been through. I forgave my mother a long time ago because I started looking at why she was this way towards me. She had me when she was 15. She was uneducated, dropped out of school, everything. So she had a lot of trauma too.
I see, you know what, that is helping. I see you know all the terms and everything. You on point with it. Shout out to
Therapy works. Yes, Lord.
All right, we're gonna get out of here, but we just wanna let you know we raised you high. you know what I'm saying, be as high as possible.
Thank you, guys.
And, we celebrate everything that you've done, and that was like
it's so crazy.
some moments.
Yo, when he asked me, what did I say when you asked me to do it? Do you remember what I said to you?
Like, I'll be honest.
No. You don't remember?
No, you
I said, why y'all want to interview me?
exactly.
Why? What would make you think that?
I guess remember earlier I said when my family would be like, everybody be like, you made it, you did it.
Yeah.
I did a lot of shit, true enough, but I feel like I got a long way to go. I got more work to do. That's in my heart. So when people say that, they be like, why me?
Well, we all have a lot, you know, further to go, but we wanted to go ahead and interview you and celebrate you because you go.
Thank you.
That's just what the
I receive it. I believe in doing the work, and I've done a lot of work, so I understand that.
I mean, I'm not, he'll tell you, I don't try to be nice to people. When I heard your joint, I was like, yo, we need to get at her. Expeditiously, she's serious with it. So now you go, and I didn't know all of the other stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, along your journey. But thank you. We appreciate you coming in. We look forward to doing this again.
I'm on that brainwash, full rollout, anonymous. Underplay to overplay, strategic, I promise. More dope brings more Negroes. Watch them heroes, pro lethal. Dream killers feast on people. Nubius in need, mine on the hunt. Paul Bear, sharp fluid, gates and piston bumps. No excuses, that's a sin. Back to the begin. Muscle memory, pseudo respect and revenge. Plays blindfolded, a bucket list with interest. Forgiveness, the shadows and mirrors who handle business. Legacy, all grind, no guest list. Land in jurisdiction, make your bread prejudice. For the purists and the tourists, Q sticky for ghetto jurors. Swing high, swing low, you forgot that we do this. Bank selection, smooth DR vibe. Underground icon, you have now been gentrified.